Alrighty guys, now I'm going to do a quick review on the JJR H20. This is a little hexacopter in the nano scale that I really like it. There have been some ups and downs with it. Something interesting to note though, with all my regular quadcopters and then nano ones and stuff, I pretty much stay in the nano category anyways. This is the smallest box, but the biggest multi-rotor I have, so I thought that was something interesting, kind of ironic and funny. It is a 4-channel, 2.4 gigahertz hexacopter, so it has 6 propellers. It comes in gold and red. I got the gold version. So there's some info on the front there, and on the back it's kind of like a different branding. It says ages 18 plus, 6-axis gyro stabilization. It says it's a mini, but it's actually in the nano scale. So for charge times, you get about 20 to 15 minute charge times, and you get about a 6-minute flight time. And let's take a look on the inside here. So it all comes very neatly packaged. And here you can kind of just like slide it out, and I kind of like that, how they have it kind of stacked on top of itself. But take the top part off. Here's the quad itself, very light, very plasticky, and the prop guards. These are the only prop guards I've ever liked with the quad or the hexacopter on. Most other multi-rotors don't look very good with their prop guards on. I actually like these ones. They really do serve their purpose. A little bit of hair in that motor, sorry. And I think it looks very nice with them on. So this is one of those ones with the removable battery, which is something kind of new and interesting for nano scale. So you take this and then you plug it into the back right here, and then you put your battery in here. It's a 150 milliamp battery, so a little bit big for nanos, but does its purpose very well. There's that. It comes with a set of instructions. Now, as I've mentioned in some of my earlier videos, that some of the instructions are really good, some of them are really bad. This is an example of a really bad set of instructions. You got Chinese, or whatever language that is, I assume it's Chinese. And for trimming it, it actually gives you instructions for how to trim it if you were trimming an aircraft. So it talks about push rods and such, which obviously this doesn't have any servos or push rods. So these directions are kind of useless. It says it has headless mode. I actually have not been able to figure out how that works. Doesn't say anything about it in here. It says it is on here. Some of the other reviews I've watched say that headless mode is absolutely terrible, but I can't tell you firsthand how that works. Comes with a full set of replacement props and a screwdriver to take off the prop guards. The controller, you got up and down. It's not spring, so kind of just stays where it is. Let's see, this one is, one of these is yaw, no, not yaw, one of these is rates and the other one's stunts. I'm pretty sure this one's stunts and this one's rates. You got your trim on and off. It does beep and it makes a lot of noises and stuff. It is very good with that. Let's see, how many? 3 AAA batteries in the back there, so that's not too many. 2.4 gigahertz. So with the rates, the first rate is a little slow, second rate is pretty fast, but then third rate, high rates, it's a little insane. The yaw rate is wicked fast. It's ridiculously fast. It's spinning. You guys will see in the flight video, but it's so quick. And then the forward motion, the angle of attack, it's pretty much like that. It's flying through the air like that. It's so fast. But the bad part is the yaw is so fast that it's almost impossible to fly. So that's one kind of disappointment I had with it. But besides that, I really like how it looks. It looks very, very nice. There are internal LEDs, blue in the front and red in the back, and they are all pretty bright. Or it's red in the front, blue in the back. One or the other, but that's all very nice. And yeah, I like to reuse the packaging on this one, so it kind of keeps it safe and everything. They did a very good job with that. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think, all I have to say about this one. Just things I don't like. The battery, the sticker kind of started to come off a little bit. And then the high rate, yaw rate is pretty much unflyable because it's so good. But besides that, it has plenty of power. Oh, one thing, very important thing. The other videos that I watched with this one, they were flying, the pilots were flying it very far away, flying it back. I've had several really bad flyaways with this one, and I don't know if maybe this is just an in particularly bad one, or something's wrong with my receiver or something, or my controller, but I have a very bad range outside with this. I know it's not infrared, so that's not the problem, but I just don't have a lot of range. And I don't really want to drill a hole into it and pull the antenna up through. I just don't really feel like I should be messing around with that, and I really don't want to, but this one did come with a range problem. I'm not sure if it's universal for all of them, but the one I got comes with a range problem, so you got to keep it close. But besides that, everything's really, really fun, really fast. That is one bad thing though, is that with all the speed you get a very limited range. So that's all I have to say about that one. We're gonna go do a flight video right now. Alright guys, so I'm going to do a flight review on my JJR H20 in the gold. So for this one, before we start flying, we got to plug in the battery. So I'm just going to do that real quick, and then we can slide it into its kind of like carrying case right here. So now I'm going to turn it on. There we go. Turn it around here. And then it's binding. And this one you got to activate the motors or arm the motors by going up and then throttling down. Forgot about that. So I haven't flown a multi-rotor in a couple weeks, so bear with me if I'm a little rusty. As you can see right off the bat, it's very fast. Oops. Right off the ball. I'm going to need to trim it out a little bit. Besides that, it's very good. Now the range outside when outdoors is not great, as I said earlier, but indoor you shouldn't have any problem with it, and even if you do, like if you're flying in like an aircraft hangar or something bigger, flyways aren't going to be a problem because you have a ceiling. So for stunts, there's your flips. And then rates, we're going to go into, right now it's in low rates. Now it's in a bit higher rates. I like to fly at some low rates because I'm not super comfortable with the quad or the hex yet. But, so this is our yaw rate in medium rates, and then high rates. There you guys go. Alright. So in high rates, it's pretty much impossible to fly because of this, which is really cool how fast that spins, but it makes it very hard to fly. I'm just going to turn the lights off so you can get a quick look at it in the dark. Alright. There you go. The LEDs are bright enough where you can see them. They kind of shine through the body. Oh, hello. And yeah, I think they're a little bit brighter in the back, the red ones, and they're in the blue ones. I'm gonna turn the lights back on so I can show you guys some funnels. So I'm not gonna bother with a funnel in high rates because after seeing the yaw rate, you guys know how that will go. So in low rate funnels are they're nice big and wide, you know. It's always those poles. I'll move it up to medium rates. They're a little bit tighter, and LBC warning on this is it's going to just start blinking rapidly, which I wish it was a little bit better of an LBC, but because it's kind of hard to see. Oof. Sometimes this gets a little weird with its gyroscope, especially if you don't fly it for a little while. Like as you can see when I start it up, not all the props are spinning right away until you give it a little bit of kind of lateral motion, kind of spin it a little bit. I don't really know why it does that, but right now I'm flying in medium. Oof, that net. So as you can see, I had a pretty bad crash there, but let's just take a look at the damage. So there's no immediate damage you can see. This prop is bent like a tiny bit down, but that's really small. But the prop guards are very bouncy. They do their job very well. Ceilings, I mean, they kind of provide protection. Not really too well though, but it's not going to be a huge problem. Now I know there is a camera version of this quad, which I would like to get my hands on. However, I feel like the motors are already working very hard already to keep this one stable, so if you add a camera, that obviously adds weight, and that might not be the best performing one. But it would be very interesting to have that, because I really do like this one. It has a lot of power. And it is very fun to fly once you get the hang of it. Not really beginner, though. I got a little bit of hair in that prop, maybe. Yeah, I got a little bit of hair. It's not really beginner. It's a little fast, and a lot of hair in that prop. It's a little fast for beginners. It has some weird tendencies that someone that's been flying for a while will be able to deal with, but for brand new people, it's very cool, very fast, very powerful quad to have, hex to have, but not really beginner material. It doesn't really like to stay in one place either. And the yaw, I don't find myself trimming it out too much because the yaw is pretty much constantly messed up, but, or not the yaw, the trim is pretty much constantly messed up, but it's not really a big deal because you're pretty much always going to be moving. So like right here where I'm doing these maneuvers and stuff. Yeah, so alright, here's the LBC right now. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. What it does is it brings the quad down, and it starts blinking, and then you pretty much immediately lose power. It doesn't just drop out of the sky, it slowly brings the quad down. That's one thing that I wish they had put onto the firmware for when it loses range or loses connection with the remote, that it would just slowly bring it down. Instead, it keeps its heading, and it literally flies away. I've had that happen several times. I was out in the woods looking for it for a while. So this is the JJR H20. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment.